Alright, so welcome back to Delivered Coding. In today's video, we will learn about Crud operation with Firebase. And here's our demo. So I'll build it to do app, really simple. And this one, we can say that we can add to do, and then we can have the delete or complete, and then we can add more. And then we can delete this one, and this one is a real-time database. So we're going to use with Firebase, and alright, so let's get coding. Alright, so here I'm using VS Code, and you can use any ticket that you want. And for this React project, so I just create React app. So then I run this one, and then you can see this one. Welcome to Deliver Coding. So first thing first that you have to do, you have to go into firebase.com, and then you can go to console, and then you create a new project, and also you need to install the Firebase here in your project as well. So I already installed it, and also I already create. So let's start create a new one. Let's say called to do daily. So this is like you can call anything like just to do for your project. So and then we continue, and then we click on defaults, and alright, so now we created successfully, and then we can go in, and then as you can see here, and then you can select. So this is you can work with Android or iOS, but we want to with the web, and then we can call it the name. So I give it to do, just a simple app, and then so we do not do any hosting, and then just click register, and then I should give you like the configs SDK so that you can copy and use it inside your project. So I'm gonna copy this one, and inside here I'm gonna create a folder called utils, and then in here I'm gonna put the Firebase.js in here. I'm gonna paste that one in. I'm gonna change this to cont, and then we need to import Firebase from the Firebase that you installed from npm, and after that you just export Firebase. Export defaults Firebase, and there you go. So next you can continue, and then we go into database. So we're gonna work with a real-time database. So then we're gonna select for the real-time database, and go here, and then you create a database. So for this one, we're going to get a test mode. So it's for test, and then you can change it later. And then we have some rules that we allow the user to write, or that allow that we need to be this one. It should be true. So now this is it. So this is like an empty, like an empty database. So first here I'm going to create the component inside of app.js that going to change this one and into to do, so that we can I give you like a class names of let's say apps. I guess there's some CSS from here that we could do an app right here. Okay, cool. And now what we wanted to do is just like a forms that the user can let's say like the input that the user can create a to do. So for that, we're going to create an inputs that going to have the types of text, and yeah, just that's it. And so for this, I'm going to create a component folder to store this one, and a component, and then I think I'm gonna go with S. So and then we're going with forms.js. We do shortcut OFC, and then we do put our input in here. Then we do like input types here equal to text, and we will do some buttons, and that's going to be add to do. Now we have to import this one into our apps. So import forms here, forms slash component slash form. Now we can replace this one with just form. Okay. And now you can see this is and then what we want to do is we want to listen and add the data, and then when we click add here, we want to put it here inside the database. So to do that, first we need to listen on chains. So we on chain, so we want to handle on chains. So for that, we're going to need some state to store the chain. So this is the title of the to-do. So I'm gonna call it the title, and then we can use state here. And then for initialize, it's gonna be null, an empty string, and then we can create the handle on chains right here. That's going to be get the value, and then we want just to set the title, and then into the e.target. So I mean like the target form, and then dot value. And now we have this one, and then we just set the value here to be equal to title. If we can be able to type and see the value, it means like we set it correctly. And then, okay, perfect. Next we need to do is to put the on click. So we not put is like listen for on click. Let's say this event, let's say we want to create a to do, and for that we're going to create a function called create to do is equal to this one. And for this, what we're gonna do is so we're gonna push to the database. So now we need to get the reference from the database. So for that, we need to import the Firebase. So this is what we're going to do with the create. And now, not import, create Firebase from our util. So it's gonna be get out this one and go into util, and then go Firebase. And then we're going to create target the to-do reference so that we can push it to that. So to-do reference is go equal to Firebase dot database dot reference. So this is like where the start object. You can call any by default you can call this anything you want. So I can call it to do. And if you have like say an object, let's say if I create an object, let's say I have a name in here, so then you can target that one. So I will show you later. What do I mean by that? And now what we need to do is to create the to do items. To do is equal to the title of to do, and so and then the complete, that to do is complete or not. So by default it's going to be false. And then so to push it, so we get a function called to do push, and just pass our to do in here. And now if I were to create the, let's say, coding and add to do, and now you can see it adds right here that our coding is going here. And for this ID, it automatically generates first, so like Firebase handle for that. And you can add more to this one. Let's say hello, and now we can see that hello is being added in here. Alright, cool. So now we finish the creating, and it's super easy. The next thing is we need to do is we need to read the data and from this one and to show it right here. To do that, I'm going to create the component called like to-do list .js, and for to-do list here we're going to get the data, and for that it just has to show that like to do. So for the data that we're going to get we want to listen for the data that is from here. So that we need to do is like an parent for that data to store. So I'm going to use effects. So for whenever happen into like a chain or something, it's going to, let's say, in the parent. So then we can put the data in the parent so that it can share the data to the other child. So in here, the same thing that you got to do. You need to get the reference of the data that you want to working on. Let's say, yeah, the to do right here. And so for that, we're gonna import the Firebase here, and then we're gonna do to do reference equal to Firebase dot database, and then we do dot ref slash to do. So what we need to do here is like we need to read the data. So we wanted to do .ref dot on. So what we need to it on values. So it means like it's if it's like on the value edit, and then we have the callback function, and then it has parameter. You can call this anything you want. And then we just console.log snapshot.value. So if you want to get the value, just call the val here. And now, because I should tell Firebase here, it just right here. I think this should work. And now if I go into the console.log, as you can see, this is like the object that we get from our Firebase right here. So now we need to this one as an array, so then we can put it in our state. So for that, we're going to hunt equal to to-dos. Our to-dos that we get is equal to snapshots dot val is like the value, and then we need to loop from that, loop in that let to do, let's say the ID in to-dos. Then we want to push it into to-do list. So const, let's say to-do list is going to be equal to empty array, and then for to-do list dot push to the to-do here dot to-do here, and then the ID. So then we get the because this is like an object, so we have to loop in this one and get the object in here into our array right here. And then we're gonna create a state, let's say a to-do list, and then set to-do list is equal to use state, and then so what we need to, let's say, to-do list and set to-do list, and then we just do put to-do list in here. And we also can console.log our to-do list as well. So as you can see, so now we can console log, and this is like the result. So then we're gonna render this one and pass it into our to-do. Since we already created to-do right here, to-do list here, I'm going to pass the object into to-do list. So then we're gonna pass the to-do list, and inside our to-do list we're going to pass our to-do list equal to-do list. So and then inside our to-do list here, so we can get our to-do list. Actually, you can get the data from here, but yeah, I think we actually could do that inside the to-do list here itself. And then we can, yeah, let me show you by that. So I'm going to cut this one, and I'm going to cut this one. So I'm going to put it in our to-do list, and then we don't need a prop right here. And then we're going to import the Firebase into this guy, and we're going to call use state and use effect right here. So you can see it's this one, and then I can just put hello world first. Let's say to-do list first. And there's something wrong with that one. Let's see, what is that? So we don't need this one. And component to-do list, and okay. Export to-do list, and yeah, I think that should everything that should work fine. And let's see, to-do list. Alright, okay, because in the Firebase right here. So we need to get out from this one. And that should be fine. As you can see, we can get the data as well. So that we don't want to mess up inside our data. So in our to-do list, it's going to be another component called to-do. So we're gonna loop this one. So like our to-do list .map, and then we have a to-do that is going to map, and then it's going to return the every to-do. So first I'm going to to show you the to do here. To do the title. And now, all right, so the map here you can see it shows like undefined because initially it took time to read this one, and so because this one is empty, and then we try to do the empty, like the to list here, the map here, so that's why it causes problem. So to do that, what we need to do is we need to check if a to-do list has exist or not. If to-do list, if it's happen, we're gonna do the loop else we just return the empty, as you can see, and then we get the title and to do right here. And so we don't want to put it right here, so I'm gonna create one more component called todo.js. And then this one is going to get the data to do. And inside the do list, we just have the function called, which is not a function, we just import a component to do. And then we pass to do object in here. And then we need the key for this one. It's going to be as an index. And we get it from here. Cool. And now we need to do the same thing. Let's say h1, and then we do to do.title. And now you can see. All right, so what is happening? All right, cool. So we're going to put the to do, and to do it in here, and to do.title. Let's first console our to do that get in here first. And all right, cool, it's working, but it's like my internet problem, that's why it's loading slower. All right, fantastic. So next we need to create a to bottom that's going to handle the delete. And then we want one more is to complete. All right, so this one. So when we click this one, we should be able to delete from this one, and this one I should update it. So update it to true. And for that, so it's going to be easy. So we do on click, and then we just call function delete our to do. And then we need to import the Firebase in our to do right here. And so we console, not console, create a function, and then we need to reference our to do reference. To do ref is going to be equal to Firebase database dot ref to our to do, and then we do dot child. So the child right here is like, it's referred to the ID right here. That this is like the parent to do, and this ID right here is like a child of it. So we want to select the child and delete. So how do we get this ID? So because in our when we read from to do, we just get the list of like a to do, an object, but we want to get an ID from that as well. So in here, what I need to do is like I'm gonna get the ID, then I'm gonna spread this once. So one more. So now I can get the ID from it as well. So all right, let's see what, yeah. Now I can get the ID from here. So in our to do, what I select is just the to do here .id. Then now I can do that, and then to remove it's really simple, and to do ref dot remove. Now we go back. All right, it takes some time to load. And now I click delete, now it's delete, and it delete from here as well. Cool. And next we need to do work with complete. It's the same thing. So the complete task, I'll complete to do. And then we target the same things. And then we just do to do ref update. And then what we want to update, complete to not to do.complete. So this way we can toggle that whether it's not complete or not, and then we just use it and on-click in here inside complete to do. Now, alright, so it takes a load, and then if we can click toggle here, so now it's just changed the value, but we haven't set anything yet. So after it's true, so what we're gonna do? So we're gonna make this one take a line through. So for that, I'm gonna give a class name is to, let's say, complete. And then in the app.css, right here, I'm already create the complete that's going to take get the line through. And so that I'm going to just import it inside my to do right here. And just get this one. And now you can see it's going to be, oh, the class complete here that should be inside h1, not on the button. My bad. Alright, great. So now if I create a new one, let's say, hey. So now it just show the complete. So we need to be that whether we check our to do, that to do.complete here is if it's truly complete, and then we create the classes one, and then else we just give an empty class, and then we close this one. So now for the new to do, we don't have this one, and we can just mark it complete or uncompleted, and then we can delete. And for this one, it's a real-time database, so I can create this one. So let's say a local. I create open another tab, and then let me see if I can do this. All right, perfect. So now I'm gonna take this one out of here, and then let's see. Now I want to create a new to do, let's say coding, and I add this one, and you can see it here. Now I want to delete from here. It's gonna change here, but it's because it's real-time database. And yeah, so that's it for the Crud operation. So now you know that how to create, update, and delete using Firebase. And so in the next video we're gonna do something with it more. And for this video, you can like the code you can find it on GitHub. And yeah, that's it. I hope this helped you, and don't forget to share this with your friends. And all right, see you in the next video. Peace.